I'm more Pakistani than some Pakistanis, I believe in my heart. I don't know why. I would be about 16 when I got into Islam in a big way. In those days there were very few Muslim men around, and certainly no Muslim women. I got married in 1954 and I got married to a Mr Mohammed Malik, who was a fantastic gentleman. I never have anything against him whatsoever, ever. We were the first Pakistani family to live in Pollokshields tenement buildings, number 5 Leslie Street, one up right, one up left, one up left, yeah. My name is Philomena Malik, and this is my story for the Colourful Heritage, which will be a true story of what's happened since the 1950s. My date of birth is 18th of August, 1937. I was born in Maryhill, Colman Street. Interesting, the house that I was born in was bombed during the Second World War, but we survived it. In those days, mothers took their children to the shelters, and there were biscuits and sweets for the children to enjoy. So the children didn't understand what was going on. My name, Philomena, is actually a Catholic name, but I was brought up a Protestant, and I was brought up with a very religious family. I was a person who liked to read books, and I never ever let a book fail me. If I start a book and I don't like it, I will persevere till the end of that book. And I picked up a book in Islam from the library by chance, and so I read it. And when I read it, I was quite amazed at the fact that between Christianity and Islam there was very little difference. It's mentioned in the Old Testament of the Bible about haram and halal, and that also made me think, that's in the Bible, why don't we practice it now? So that made me change from Protestant to Muslim. So I became a Muslim, and therefore mixed with Muslim people, and I got to know them more, and I felt more content and happy within that community. I would be about 16 when I got into Islam in a big way, and I didn't get married until 2 years later. I got married in 1954, and I got married to a Mr Mohammed Malik, who was a fantastic gentleman. I never have anything against him whatsoever, ever. Initially it was hello, how are you? Hello, it's a nice day, it's a bad day. Or maybe at some point it would be that one or the other would be ill, and we wouldn't see each other for quite a few days. And then we were wondering what happened. And then when we would meet each other, we'd say, what happened to you? And he'd say, well, I had a very bad cold, or I had this wrong with me, or I had that wrong with me. So we became more and more close. And eventually, missing out quite a lot, we eventually did get married. I was at university, and where he was, we went to the same place for lunch, and that was why we met each other every day on a daily basis, because that's where we both had our lunch. It's just one of those things that happened. And sometimes I think God meant it to be, it was. When I got married, my father was against the marriage, and he had travelled to India when India was Pakistan and India together, when it was just one country. And he said, why are you marrying there? I've been there, you won't be able to live there, it's not a good idea. And he wouldn't agree to come to the marriage, and he didn't. And my son was 2 years old before I met my father. He had an invitation to go for dinner. So it was quite strange because I had to say to my mother, if you invite us for dinner, don't cook meat. And if you cook meat, you've got to go to such and such a shop on Great Western Road and get the meat, because we only eat halal meat. And so anyhow, she agreed to do all of that. And I went into the house with my husband and my son. And I asked my mother, where is my father? She said he's in the kitchen. They had these big coal fires in the kitchen in those days. And he was standing with his back to the fire, very official looking. And all he said was, are you happy? And I went, yes. Oh well, if you're happy, I'm happy. End of story. I couldn't believe it. He gave in so gracefully. And I thought this had to be. So from then on, we were a complete family again, which was good. And my father became very, very close to my husband. And many a time he would take my husband's view against mine, which was rather surprising. And I used to say to my father, look, I'm your daughter. No, I know, but what he says makes sense. So I'm agreeing with him. So I thought that was wonderful that they had that relationship. No marriage should be just done like that. It's my best friend, so it'll be fine. Not necessarily going to be fine. I think, and I often say, when you marry, you're not marrying just the woman or just the boy. You're marrying a whole family. Therefore, you have to be very sure that in accepting the boy or the girl, you also accept the family. That's why I believe these should be together. These families should be together before marriage. And they should be quite realistic about whether they like each other or not. Maybe it stands a better chance then of marriage lasting. I don't know. A good marriage would be along the lines of give and take. You must give and take with each other. Nobody's perfect. We all try, but we're not necessarily perfect, so we have to try and be good with each other. And just enjoy life. Don't moan.